How did your narcissistic mother feed you as a child? So my mother didn't really cook. She could cook because I remember once she made shrimp scampi once, and like I loved it. It was amazing, and of course she never made it again. And she wasn't making it for me. She was making it because she was in the beginning of the marriage with my first stepfather. So there must have been something in there where she was still impressing him even though they were already married. And I remember her making liver and onions more than once. Why? Because I hated it. I couldn't stand the smell. I like it now, funny enough, whatever. But I remember her making that more than once. Otherwise, my mother did not cook until we got a microwave, and that's not cooking, and I'll get into that in a second. And when I say my mother didn't cook, that meant that we either got takeout of some sort or we ate at a restaurant every single night, quite literally. At some point in time when I was in grade school, and I'm thinking like fourth or fifth grade, my mother decided that I wasn't going to have school lunch anymore, out of the blue, and started making me lunch. Sounds good, right? Wrong. So I don't remember, like, she would put, I don't know if she put chips in there or snacks in there at all. Like, I do remember raisins. There would be a little box, the little red box of raisins. So I remember that would be in there. But the main part of my lunch was a sandwich. And my mother used to buy this bologna. I don't know why I can't say it right now, with pimentos and olives and all that in there. I'm like 9, 10 years old. I like that stuff now, but I didn't like it then. And I don't know that I would ever eat that now because it looks gross to me. But yeah, I wouldn't eat it now. That's what she would pack. She would pack a slice of that, a slice of cheese, and mayonnaise. And I hated it. And she asked me if I liked it. And she asked me, I remember, in front of my stepfather, because the only way that I would ever tell my mother something negative, which was rare even in front of my stepfather, was if I had the safety of an audience, and particularly my stepfather. So I told her, no, I didn't like it. And she's like, so you didn't eat it? And I'm like, no, I didn't eat it because I don't like it. I ate the cheese and I ate the bread, and I would take that out. After that, she kept packing the same lunch, and she told me, without the audience, that she would know if I didn't eat it, that she had the teachers watching me. And sometimes I managed to eat it, and sometimes I didn't. And when I didn't, I would live in terror of her finding out. And I would just continually lie to her, like I was family liar, like I was eating it. And I can even remember that on some of those days where I just literally, I didn't even open up the sandwich, I would try to hide it. So that would mean I wouldn't have the bread, I wouldn't have the cheese, I'd have a box of raisins, maybe a piece of fruit or something for lunch, and of course come home starving, not rushing home. Even though I was starving, I can remember those would be the days where when I would get home, I would like tremble as I put my hand on the doorknob because I knew she was going to ask me, and I had to lie, and I knew she knew, and all of the things in between. She never actually busted me for it, but she was so busy busting me for other imaginary things that it got buried and lost in the shuffle. Now let's get to the microwave story. Might as well just include it all in here. How did your parents feed you? This is what I want to know. Your narcissistic parent. But as I go along here, I want to talk about the microwave. So my mother taught me how to binge eat. I'm like 10, 11 years old, and she used to take me to Pumpernicks, which was in North Miami Beach, North Miami Beach. North Miami, not North Miami Beach. That's why I'm confused. Anywhoosie, she would take me to Pumpernicks, and we would get this Black Forest chocolate cake, which was delicious. And we would sit in the car, and my mother's a very proper lady, and we would eat it with our hands. And it was ever so much fun, and I would think, oh, this is great, because I had total amnesia as to what was coming next. I was focused on the good moment in front of me, and when we would finish the cake, she would then go, oh, your ass is getting fat. Like, that's what she would say to me. And it became I was the family joke for so many things, but it became the family joke of Marnie's fat little bum while she was calling me a fat ass. So then she could say, everybody knows that you're fat, that kind of thing. And I always say this, but funny how she picked the thing I would never be able to verify and see. Right? Just saying. Anywho, she would then put us on a diet. So she taught me how to binge and then how to deprive myself. Where does the microwave come into play? Well, of course, as soon as those came out, and I don't know how old you are, but they were gigantic. My mother had to be the first on the block to have one. I don't know if she was the first, but she definitely acted like she was. Never mind that the house pretty much had no furniture in it, but she had a microwave. She had designer clothes. I mean, one of her pairs of shoes could have bought a sofa. Such a weird life. And of course, on the outside, it's so indicative of what the life was, actually, because the outside of the house, the neighborhood we lived in, everything looked posh and perfect and all that. And inside, it was hollow. Right? All a facade. Anywho, she gets the microwave, and she went through this whole thing where when we would be on the diet, it would be like chunks of unseasoned, pretty much. She put some garlic in there, chicken and broccoli, but it was like eating rubber. That's how my mother would cook. And it was only because we would binge, and then she felt the need to put us on a diet. Or she would do like the soup diets and things like that. So that's where I learned how to have disordered eating and body dysmorphia and all that fun stuff. I actually had an ED like significantly when I was in my early 20s. I weighed under 80 pounds, and guess what? My mother told me I looked good. Yeah, it's the one and only time my mother ever told me I looked good. I was a walking skeleton. So what was your story like with your narcissistic parent, with food, body image? Let's talk about it. Let's bring this as one of those things to light, because somewhere out there, someone's going through this thinking it was quite normal, or it is normal, and they need to know it's not. This is not how you raise children. Just saying.